What up, YouTube? It's NoChainzz, and I am back for another commentary, and this is another episode of my Cincinnati Bengals owner mode here in Madden 25 for the PS3. Giovanni Bernard is coming back this week, so that gives you guys something to be excited about. We are facing off against the Houston Texans, and this is not a game the Bengals like to lose. I really want to beat the Texans every time I play them. Just still holding a grudge from those 2 straight playoff victories they had over us, so I really want to put a beating on these guys. And you guys see, they do not have Matt Schaub anymore. They've drafted Sean Mannion, and he is out of Oklahoma State University. So this is the second week straight that the Bengals defense is going to be facing off against a rookie. So behind him they have Kane Coulter, and at the running back position they still have Arian Foster and Ben Tate. That is a very good 1-2 punch for them. And at the wide receiver position, they have Jordy Nelson and DeAndre Hopkins, Ramses Barden, too, Keyshawn Martin, and Corey Brown. They have a solid offense, so our defense will have their hands full, especially with the run game. But Jordy Nelson also poses a threat through the air, because my honest assessment of the play of Leon Hall is that he's not who he used to be. But there's a long season ahead of us. We're 2-0. It's only week 3. He has a lot of time to redeem himself, but it just seems like he's lost a step in covering some of these best receivers, for their respective teams. So let's see, if later down the line in the season we want to put EJ Gaines at that number 1 spot. But we'll see. We'll see as the season goes on. Keep an eye on that. But as always, I'm looking at the man coverage of the cornerbacks. They still do have Jonathan Joseph, who came from the Cincinnati Bengals. A side note is that I was very excited about him as he got better going into his second year, and then we went ahead and let him go in free agency to the Texans. I wasn't too happy about that. He was going to be one of the best corners in the league. I mean, I still believe that he is, but, I would rather that he played for us. Him and Leon Hall together was a very good cornerback tandem, and I really miss those days. But anyway, Ray Maluga shuts down Arian Foster in the backfield, so they will have to punt, only getting 8 yards on their first drive of the day. Blake Bortles and this offense, complete with Giovanni Bernard, is coming out to the field. We're going to hand it off to him on the first play of the drive, and he is taking it for a long gain. He stiff arms his way up to the 39-yard line, a gain of 35 yards, and he is pumping up this crowd here at Paul Brown Stadium. I still call it Paul Brown Stadium, even though it's called Bengals Field, but a risky pass by Blake Bortles, as he will find AJ Green for a gain of 16. Then we're going to hand it off to Giovanni Bernard. He's cutting it to the right side, originally going to the left, but cuts it back and picks up even more yards. So second down and goal. Blake Bortles is back to pass, throws yet another risky pass, and it will be brought down by Julian Edelman, and he will come down with a touchdown. So the Bengals take an early lead, 7-0 over the Houston Texans, and Marvin Lewis is fired up. That is a very solid drive by this offense. We're already seeing improvement from Blake Bortles early in this game since the return of Giovanni Bernard. We're getting some different looks than we're used to early in the season due to the return of Giovanni Bernard. The defense has to put some extra men in the box in order to compensate for the threat of Giovanni Bernard. But let's talk about our defense. You guys see Ben Tate takes the option play for a gain of 7 yards. We are looking to get another stop, but Sean Mannion dropped back a little bit too far, and that will allow Peniel Jean to bring him down on a cornerback blitz that time. Second down to 18. Mannion is dropping back, finds a wide open Hannah, getting past midfield and reaching forward after a gain of 31 yards. Second down and 5. Mannion's back to pass, rolling out to the left side, going deep into triple coverage, and it will be intercepted by Sean Williams. He falls into the end zone for the second time this season. In 3 games, he catches an interception, and it results in a safety. This guy really needs to work on his balance, because he's gotten 2 interceptions this season, but none of which were really a takeaway, because they get the ball right back. He actually scored for the offense on 2 plays this season. That's just not good. Sean Williams really has to work on his balance. Even tried to pitch it there, but it didn't work out like that. But they pick up a first down after a gain of 8 on a tight end reception by Hannah. Then they're going to hand it off to Arian Foster. He's dragging some Bengals defenders along the way for the ride, and he picks up a first down. At the end of the first quarter, they're going to find Hannah again, and he barely gets brought down by Reggie Nelson. He is just tearing apart our defense. This time they're going to hand it off to Arian Foster. He breaks the tackle and gets into the end zone, and the Texans will take the lead. And Arian Foster doing this signature bow thing right there. I hate seeing that thing. But anyway, Giovanni Bernard will be brought down in the backfield for a loss of 2. Blake Bortles trying to get some of those yards back, but instead will throw an interception to Houston. And they get the ball back with a chance to increase their lead. And with that reception to Jordy Nelson, they get about 15 yards closer to doing that. Second down and goal. Manning's back to pass. They're going to find a wide open Jordy Nelson slant route by him, beating easily the coverage of Leon Hall. So they have taken a 9-point lead here in this game. We really need to rebound from that and get something going and get some momentum. But Dexter McCluster helps us with that, as he's going to get a great return all the way down to the 30-yard line, and then gets brought down via face mask, and that is another 15 yards. So the Bengals will get even more yardage on that very effective return. McCluster got some very good blocking. Here's the official call, face mask on number 40. But nonetheless, we're faced with a 3rd down and 12 after 2 negative rushes. But we're going to pick that right back up with a pass over the middle to Tyler Eifert, 2nd down and goal. We're going to hand it off to Giovanni Bernard, and he picks up a touchdown, and that is his first rushing touchdown since the postseason last year during our Super Bowl run. But our defense is back on the field. We forced the Texans to a 3rd and 5. They're going to pick it up anyway to Tony Scheffler. I think I'm saying his name right, but 2nd down and 4. They're going to run a read option, and Mannion does not slide. And that may have been a difference between him not getting the first down and actually getting the first down. And Mannion will go deep on the coverage of Leon Hall. Jordy Nelson beats him deep, and they pick up a very nice chunk of yards. So that puts him at the 17-yard line. Ray Maluga shuts down Ben Tate in the backfield. Ray Maluga is just playing tremendously. 3rd down and 14. Mannion is going to check this one down to Ben Tate, but it will be knocked loose by Peniel Jean, and they will settle for a field goal. So the Texans still lead in this game, 19-14. Blake Bortles is running the 2-minute offense, gets it started with a long pass to A.J. Green. Then he's going to go over the middle to Chris Boyd. A lot of you guys were excited for him, and there you see him making a play, picking up a first down for the Bengals after a gain of about 20 yards. Blake Bortles is under pressure, going to throw a very, very risky pass to Tyler Eifert. Somehow he still comes down with it. 2nd down and 10. Nice pocket for Bortles. He's going to find Marvin Jones, and he almost gets into the end zone, but gets us to the 1-yard line. We're going to hand it off. Actually, play action. Bortles is rolling out to the left side. His non-throwing side still is able to accurately lob this one up to A.J. Green, and he tiptoe catches that one and gets his feet down and comes down with a touchdown. So we are going for 2. We're going to hand it to Giovanni Bernard, and he rolls his way into the end zone over J.J. Watt. And with that, the Bengals take a 3-point lead over the Houston Texans. And you guys saw a very solid half from Blake Bortles outside of the first interception, which has really been the story for the first 2 weeks of the season. He's thrown 1 interception, but other than that has a high completion percentage and a touchdown or 2. But hopefully he can build on that in the second half and keep up his efficient play and throw a couple of more touchdowns so the Bengals can get this victory. He's already playing well, you know, being with Giovanni Bernard next to him and in the backfield with him. So that's very good, but we still miss Andre Smith as we allow a sack and have to punt it back to the Texans, and Ray Maluga takes down Arian Foster for a loss of 3. So 2nd down and 13 for Mannion. He's going to find DeAndre Hopkins for a gain of 13, which will bring up a 3rd down in inches, and Arian Foster will be shut down. And that has been the story all day. We've done a very good job shutting Arian Foster down, and Giovanni Bernard will come up with yet another big rush of over 15 yards. And then we have Marvin Jones wide open on the right side, beating the jam of Jonathan Joseph. And that is the deep ball we really needed last year. And Andy Dalton just could not do it. Blake Bortles throws a spot-on pass to a wide-open Marvin Jones, and he is able to just easily jog into the end zone. And the Bengals take a 10-point lead, but the Texans are right back at it, trying to take back that momentum. And they get a nice pass to Ben Tate. And then they're going to find Ramses Barden for a gain of 10. And after an incomplete pass, Mannion is back to pass, going deep to Martin. And he just, oh my Lord, he just goes up and snatches the ball away from the hall monitor. And then we get a face mask call by Sean Williams. I know that call is a little bit common. I have to adjust these sliders, but that will put them half the distance to the goal, so they will be on the 2-yard line. But after a gain of 1, they're going to hand it off to Ben Tate, and he will be brought down by Vontaze Burfict. And then on 3rd down and goal, we were looking run, and then they get a diving touchdown reception by Jordy Nelson, and that will narrow our lead to 3 points. 29-26 is the score here at the end of the 3rd quarter. So it's looking like this one will be a high-scoring shootout. And on 3rd down and 1, we're going to hand it off to Jawan Edwards, and we're going to bring out the chain gang to see if he did, in fact, cross the 1st down marker, and we can get a brand new set of 4 downs. But it looks like we're just inches short, and we will have to punt the ball to the Houston Texans. So Mannion, who has been pretty effective all day, showed great poise right there. He held on to the ball for a little bit too long, and Geno Atkins is there to bring him down, and he will be injured and out of the game. So he will not be returning. So that will put in Kane Carter, who I talked about a little bit earlier in the video. He's rolling out to the right side. Had a clear lane of green daylight right in front of him, but he does not take it. So Dominic Easley is there to take out his knees and stop him before he can even get going. So he needed to make his decision a little bit faster on that one. So 3rd down and 9 for the Bengals. We want to increase this lead. We're going to hit Tyler Eifert over the middle, and he will pick up another new set of downs for the Bengals. So 3rd down and 8, we're going to go play action. Blake Bortles fires over to Julian Edelman, and he is wide open on the left side of the field. After a gain of 2, we are faced with a 3rd down and 8, and Edelman over the middle again, getting another clutch reception and 1st down, getting us inside the red zone. So 1st down and 10, we're going to get yet another face mask call. I know that is very, very common, and I'm going to lower it as we go on in the season. So Blake Bortles this time under pressure, going to roll out and find Marvin Jones wide open for the touchdown. That was a great throw while taking the hit by Blake Bortles. I almost called him something else, but that is very good poise by him taking the hit. And then we're going to get yet another face mask call. Like I said, be patient. I'm going to adjust these sliders to lower that because it happens about 6 or 7 times a game, and that's a little bit too much if you ask me. But Kane Coulter is going to go deep to a wide open Jordy Nelson, and if he kept that foot in bounds, he would have walked into the end zone. They're trying to bring this lead down to 3 points, and they do just that. They're going to hit Hopkins, and he comes down with the ball. So they're actually going to kick it to us. We really need this 3rd down. We're play action to Tyler Eifert. He comes down with it, and they use their final timeout, and the Bengals will kneel the ball out, just barely escaping this comeback attempt by the Houston Texans. They were able to score late in the game. They didn't really lose a step after Kane Carter came in, and their offense still was able to go and keep that momentum they had, but our offense was a little bit too efficient on the ground, picking up too many 1st downs. Blake Bortles played tremendously. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and you're going to get his official completion numbers here in a second. But we didn't even get over 100 rushing yards. Giovanni Bernard had 101, but we lost a couple of yards due to kneeling. But if I could just go back to the play of Blake Bortles briefly, he didn't fumble the ball. That's a good thing. He only threw 1 interception, and he was able to keep up with this offense of the Texans without turning the ball over and playing efficiently. You guys see, what's his name? Jordy Nelson had a very good game, and Kane Carter and Sean Mannion both played pretty efficiently and very well. And in a game where 1 turnover could make a very big difference, because you guys see we only won by 3 points. In a game where a turnover could really make a big difference, he did not turn the ball over throughout the whole second half and really didn't throw any bad throws. So I'm very proud of him, and I'm not sure if that's due to the defensive looks we're getting, due to Giovanni Bernard being back. I don't know what it is, but I'm very, very proud of Blake Bortles. I'm looking for him to keep it up. Not that I'm looking for a QB, though. Marcus Mariota is coming out finally. I was waiting for him to come out last year, but he's finally coming out. Like I said, I'm not looking for a QB. I just wanted to point that out to you guys. He's a anticipated player, or a highly anticipated player, and I just wanted to show you guys that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys really killed that like button last week, and we got about 70 likes, so I want you guys to mimic that and leave some more likes. It'll make me very happy. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Later.